Hello,
Yes.
Sir Tom. My name is Alexander.
Hello.
Thank you for being here in my channel Zona Franca. What I do basically is try to
Hello,
promote
Alexander.
metal music to Peru. So please, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Tom, and I'm the guitar player of Primal Fear. And we are currently on South American tour. And right now I'm in Costa Rica, where we'll play a show in a couple of hours. Then we'll go to Colombia, Bogota, and then finally we'll be in Lima, Peru, to rock for our Peruvian fans.
What are your expectations about the Peruvian metal crowd?
We're from Europe, so we're a German band, and it's for us. It's always a pleasure and to play in South America because the crowd is so fanatic and enthusiastic, and they're singing to our songs, and they're really nice, and they really support our kind of music, like metal music. And nowadays, it's pretty tough because a lot of bands are playing in South America right now. And but they're really supportive, and it's always great to have the opportunity to play in front of such an amazing crowd. So I do not expect anything less from Peru then.
I would like to know, like, what were your influences in the beginning of the band, and what are your influences nowadays?
Yeah, I'm not really influences, but because when we started writing songs, we just wrote songs and we never thought about it has to sound like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Motorhead, Judas Priest, whatever you may call it. We just started writing songs, and in the beginning it was like that. Ralph's voice is similar to Rob Halford's voice. So in the beginning, everybody said, "Oh, that's the German version of Judas Priest," or "We are Judas Priest clones," or then they said, "Oh, when we released our first album, it was like, yeah, that was the album that Judas Priest should have been released after Painkiller, whatever." So we always got compared to Judas Priest, which is not fair because we never saw ourselves being like a Judas Priest clones. Because when you listen to our kind of music, it's different to Judas Priest. The only similarity is probably that Ralph's voice is similar to Rob Halford. But we never had some bands that influences us. Okay, you go like with the time, you grow older and you'll listen to this kind of music and that kind of music, and maybe that influences you somehow. But it's not like you go like, "Oh, I like Five Finger Death Punch, so I need to write a song that sounds like Five Finger Death Punch." We're just writing songs, and we have, I think, that Primal Fear over 25 years of existence and recording 14 albums. We have our own style, and we don't need to be influenced by anyone else.
So, what you will say makes different Primal Fear to other metal bands?
Definitely Ralph's voice. Ralph is a metal siren. He's a fantastic singer. He's a great guy, great entertainer. He's a really wonderful person, great singer, outstanding singer. The band itself is like really cool. We are very unique. We are having fun on stage, and we are trying to get this fun across. So when we are on stage and we are smiling because we are having fun, it's real. So if I go on stage tonight and I will have fun, I will smile, and the people will know that, they will feel it, that, oh, these guys are having fun on stage. They like to play for us tonight. And I think that's a thing that's pretty cool in Primal Fear, that we always try to get this feeling across, that we are trying to be there for our fans. And maybe that's the difference. We're not going on stage and putting on like angry faces to play metal music. We're doing metal music, but we're still funny or lovely guys, and maybe that's also a thing that counts for us, and especially Ralph's voice. So yeah, and we're a German band, like there's a lot of German bands around in the metal scene, and every band in Germany got their like own style. Like we do not sound like Halloween or Running Wild or Gravedigger or Powerwolf, and they do not sound like Halloween either and stuff like that. So we got our own style, they got our own style, and we're pretty thankful for that.
So as you were saying, there are a lot of metal bands coming to South America, but also there are new metal bands coming out in general. And what suggestions would you tell them to the new metal bands?
Always try to be yourself. Don't try to copy someone. You can. When I was a guitar player, like when I began playing guitar, so I'm a guy that I cannot play anything from Eddie Van Halen, a whole guitar solo, or from Steve Lukather or Neil Schon. Like I just try to pick the best parts of it, and then I put it together, like from Zakk Wylde, Eddie Van Halen, all the guys that I love, and then I put it and I shake it, and then with my small stuff that I can play with my fingers, so that's my own style. And if you start a band, you can try in the beginning to copy someone, but then really try to not copy it, get the influence, and make something special out of it, because it's your band, and it doesn't make any sense to sound like any other band, like Deep Purple, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Manowar, because there's all already there. Try to find something different, something new, create something new, and just get the influence, but don't copy.
True.
And believe in yourself.
Believe yourself always. If you were not a musician, what would you be?
I would love to be a soccer football player. When I was young, I was a football player, but I was not. I was pretty good, but I was not that good to make it as a professional player. And then when I was around 15, I got my first guitar. And with the guitar and the first band, there comes alcohol, cigarettes, and girls, which is not really cool when you want to be like a professional football player. Probably no cigarettes, no alcohol, and no girls, but trying to be a professional football player. So in the end, I was really lucky, because if I would have been like a professional football player, so my career would end like when I was 35. And then I got like maybe 15 years of fame, and then my body would be aching every time. And now I'm doing like metal music for 25 years, and I'm really grateful, and I feel blessed that I have the opportunity to travel the world and see so many beautiful places like Australia or South America. There are some beautiful places in Europe. We were in America, Canada, Tokyo, whatever, Japan. So it's pretty really nice that it happened that kind of way, because I turned a hobby into a living, and I'm really honored, and I feel blessed to have the opportunity to do that. Although sometimes it's really exhausting, like flying all the time and having the jet lags and everything. But when you're on stage, everything is forgotten, and you're like, oh, they are all fans. Now we rock for them.
In those 20 years that you are in Primal Fear, there's a period of time that you would like to do it again?
Anytime. It's like all the times when I was in Primal Fear, it's like everything is amazing. Like when you start writing songs, it's like in a special period of time when you start writing songs, and you like that period and you write that songs, and you go on tour, and then you start writing the next songs, and it's another kind of period that you like. So every time when I think about Primal Fear, there's not one day I will say like, oh, I don't want to do that again. It's great. It's I'm really fortunate to be the guitar player in such an amazing band with such amazing guys around me.
I know Primal Fear is well known around the world, but do you think Primal Fear is still some things to do in order to be more well known?
Yes. It's like, if we would know how to get more well known, we probably would do it, because it's probably much more fun to play in front of 10,000 people than to play in front of 2,000 people. But like there are so many bands around at the moment, and it's pretty heavy even after the pandemic, because so many venues closed and so many bands are still trying to play. So right now when we're in South America, there was like a band called Destruction, German bands, lovely guys, friends of us. They played 3 weeks ago. Then we are on tour with Septic Flesh, and they are in the same hotel, but they're always playing one day before we go to a city. They play there. Tonight we are going to play with I Am Morbid. Then there was like the big festival in Mexico. and a lot of bands are playing there. Then KK's Priest will come to South America. So many bands are touring South America at the moment, so it's pretty tough. And we know the economics in Latin America is not pretty well at the moment. So many people have to struggle to get food and to survive. And then there are a lot of guys who cannot afford a ticket to a show. And if there's so many bands around at the moment, it's pretty tough to get a really good and steady number of an audience to bring up a good show.
In fact, like yesterday, 2 days ago, I was sitting with Bill Hudson and Richie, the guitar players from I Am Morbid. We were talking.
I will see them tonight.
Oh, really? Yeah, they were there. They were there.
Costa Rica, yeah.
And they told me the same thing as you. Like, a lot of metal bands are coming to South America, you know? There's too many bands nowadays.
Yeah, because like they found out, like we have the place where I live, like 100 kilometers away, there's a Summer Breeze Festival, which is pretty well known in Germany. It's like 40 or 60,000 people every day, and it goes on for 3 or 4 days. So it's pretty a popular festival. And now they did Summer Breeze Sao Paulo, I guess.
Yeah.
And so many bands are playing there. And it doesn't make any sense for a band to fly from Europe to South America to play one show. So probably all the bands are going like, so if we are over there, let's put on like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 10 more shows. And everybody is then traveling to Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Ecuador, Venezuela, Colombia, everything. And it makes it pretty hard also for the local promoters to get a good sale and to make money.
That's true. So as you making tours like Europe and also here in South America, what would you say is the differences between how a promoter from Europe treats you and how a promoter from South America treats you?
Oh, that's a funny question. How, you know, like in Europe, it's like, it's tough to say. I think maybe sometimes it's more organized. So not like, but when we play in Spain or Italy, they are more like the Latin guys. So it's more like easygoing. So like when we're over here and we have like, we would like to have this and this and this and this we need vegetarian food or veggie food. And they go like, we don't have veggie food, but hey, come on, eat some chicken, that would be okay. But no, he's a vegetarian guy, so no food. Or he would like to have like, there's a contract where it's like, we have a hotel that has to be like 4-star, probably 4-star hotel. And then they send us to a 2-star hotel. We're like, no, but there's a contract. There's a, hey, come on, it's only one night. And we're like, yeah, but you know, it's one night. And sometimes they are not really quite exact when it comes to the contract. But they're really nice. Like every time when we arrive there, they pick us up on the airport, and then we go out to a restaurant and have dinner together. Everything is fine, but I wouldn't call it that European guys are more professional, but it's like South America is a little bit different from the culture. They're more easygoing and so. And for example, it's not in every country, but I was in countries in South America. They were not as clean as, for example, Germany or Spain, but that's the culture. So I will not blame any promoter for being this, and it's the way it is. And I'm not going like to that. I go like, okay, there's like Brazil is like a dirty city. I would never ever, or dirty country. I would never ever say this, but it's some differences between Europe, America. There's also a difference between America and Europe. The promoter in Europe are completely different than in America. In America, the promoters say, to be honest, they don't give a fuck. So just play and fuck off. And then you give a buyout of $20 and then they really do not really care. So over here, they probably do not have the possibilities to do everything, but they are doing it with a lot of passion and heart. And we know that, we feel it, because they come, I'm sorry, we cannot do this, we cannot do that, but we tried, and we go like, hey, all good. So we feel it if someone really tries to fuck us up or he's really trying his best. But the promoters in South America are a lot of people with a lot of passion and heart, and they really try to do everything to make you feel comfortable while you're playing in their city or their club.
How do you choose Contracara to be the bands who's open you? Do you listen them before?
It's when it comes on touring then we have like a one band there, and we got couple of hours, and probably Matt is deciding it. We go like, and he asking, what do you think, this band or that band, or what do you think about this band? Then we're going to choose it. Right now, when we're doing South America, it's more the local promoter who sets up an opening act or whatever. So tonight there will be a double headliner show together with I Am Morbid. So no support band like this. So two bands playing. Fine with me. Tomorrow in Bogota there will be like 4 bands playing. So, and it's all about the local promoter. It's not on us. So we can decide if they're like in Chile. We had a local band opening us, and the guy was a singer, the guitar player was a friend of our bass player, and so he got asked, "Is there a possibility if we could support you in Chile?" And then we try to do that. But normally it's a local promoter who brings up the support bands.
Right on. So, sir, this is the last question. This is a random one, and you have to be honest with your answer. And the question is like this. If you have one day left on the earth, with which artist, dead or alive, and what song would you like to play with?
Haha. Tricky question. But I guess I would love to play with Paul McCartney.
Finally, someone said that. Yes, I love the Beatles. I love that.
Yeah, I think Beatles were my first band, and I know I'm a guitar teacher, and I got some kids like 12, 15 years old, and then I go like, we're doing a song, like a picking song called Yesterday, and it's like, the song is from 1965, the year I was born. So like, look like, what? That's old, fucking old. And then I played it, like, oh, I know that song. And it's so much fun when I told my students, every time I'm in my car and I listen to radio, and there's a Beatles song on the radio, I crank it up. If just like other bands, like new bands coming up or new artists, I'll probably be sure that you will not listen to them anymore in 10 years. But the Beatles, they made history. Their songs, after more than 60 years, you're still listening to it. And they really influence a lot of musicians. And yeah, it's one of the best bands ever.
That's true. In fact, here in Peru, every year there's a concert in tribute to the Beatles, and I go with my parents every year. It's very nice to hear that.
So what is your favorite song of the Beatles?
Wow, that's a tricky one, but I will say...
That's a tricky...
I will say Something or In My Life.
In My Life is great. There are places I remember.
In My
Life.
That's
great. That's oh my God, goosebumps. That's a fucking great tune. And I also love Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride. Help is also really good.
Hey, did you hear the song that the Beatles just put it out like 2 days ago? Now and Then.
No, not yet. Not yet.
You should.
I just saw it on Facebook that they released something, but I need to listen to that.
You should. Well, Sir Tom, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for this interview. I'll be there in the concert, and yeah, of course. And I would love to bring you some present for my country, like pisco. It's a traditional Peruvian drink. Pisco. I don't know if you ever tried.
I know. I missed it. Pisco, because my guitar technician is from Switzerland, and he go like, "You need to go. You have to pisco sour." And I was so tired, so that I'm sorry. I want to just go to bed. And he went out and said, "Hey, I bought some pisco sour for you." And I go, "No, I'm just already in." But that's nice. So we have some pisco sour in Lima.
And do you think there's a possibility that I can give it to you and we can take a picture or something?
Sure, definitely. Just write on Insta and give me your phone number and your name, and I will send it to Julia, which is our tour manager, and then you will organize anything.
Thank you, man. Oh, last thing. If you see Bill Hudson today, say to him, don't forget to go to the gym.
Don't forget to go to the gym. I will say that.
Thank you, man. God bless you. Okay. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Stay safe.
Be safe too.